Time now for Peter Channel Morning News on this Monday morning, March 28, 2016. And good morning to you all on this lovely Monday morning. Back to work, back to school. Here are your news and odds at 8 a.m. The top story at 8 is Lahore, Pakistan on this Easter Sunday. Christians in Lahore mingle with their Muslim neighbors. Celebrated in the neighborhood park, taking their children on rides and preaching about against Pakistan bombing at least 69 killed in Easter attacks on Christians. Belgium charged the 3 terrorist involvement as Brussels failure to prosecutors said Monday they have charged 3 people involved in the terrorist group. A volcano in Alaska, eruption erupted Sunday afternoon, sending ash 20,000 feet into the air. The U.S. Geological Survey reported that the volcano located about 600 miles southwest of Anchorage erupted at 4:18 p.m. California legislatures and labor unions have reached a tentative agreement that will take the state's minimum wage from $10 to $15 an hour. The state senator said a move that would make the largest statewide minimum in the nation by far. The political machination between the Chicago police chief dominated weekend news after the Sun-Times reported late Saturday that by Emmanuel police pick calculations. Wilson, Senator Bernie Sanders supporters at California said they expected that come November, Hillary Clinton will be elected president by a large. They're okay with that. Some flights to London, Gatwick, and Heathrow airports have been diverted due to high winds, better than much of Britain and Western France. Brussels was prepared to honor terror victims at a faith memorial Monday after a weekend of raids across the Europe and Asia that England set up corporation followed the carnage in the Belgian capital. Yangon, Japan on Monday switched to a radar station in East China saying it had given a permanent intelligence given a post close to Taiwan and a group of violence disputed by Japan and China throughout an angry response from Beijing. Tokyo, Japan's government said it will stick to the policy of not possessing nuclear weapons after U.S. President Donald Trump said it would be open to the idea of Japan and South Korea having their own atomic arsenals. Damascus, Syria. Drone footage released Monday revealed some of the treasure rooms in the ancient Syrian city of Palmyra survived the destructive Islamic State occupation. Brussels. The U.S. State Department confirmed 2 more Americans were killed in last week's bombings in Brussels, bringing the U.S. citizens in death total 4. Oaxaca, Mexico. A man reported to be when a drug lord walking El Chapo Guzman top money launderers men arrested. Mexican federal police said. A highway west of Madison, Los Kansas, as wildfire began on Tuesday in Oklahoma, soon spread to Kansas. As record wildfire comes to Kansas, still life-saving neighbors. While expected to be a rainy few hours in New Jersey, the wind this afternoon could pose far greater problems with strongest winds expected to occur from late this afternoon until evening with gusts could reach 50 miles an hour. Even though it was just a few months ago, they were difficult to average call at the time when Ted Cruz and Donald Trump were friends, not just friends. Actually, they were happy parents as temperature rose that was spent last summer and early autumn. The nominee for the Supreme Court, Judge Merrick B. Garland, spoke with Senator Amy Klobuchar, Democrat Minnesota office on Capitol on Wednesday as Senate meetings with Merrick Garland start with a trickle. Raleigh, North Carolina. The American Civil Liberties Union is prepared to challenge a new North Carolina law that harms the LGBT community. Milford, Pennsylvania. Fire department search crews in northeast Pennsylvania found the records of a helicopter crash in which the pilot was killed. Massachusetts under federal mandate to radically change the way numbers of interstate highway sites has been awarded the contract to start a gargantuan jump at the State Department of Transportation apparently is now telling what about it. Not the public, not even the agencies. The Federal Highway Administration now requires that exercise interstate speed over major roadways be based on mileage and distance rather than a sequential consecutive number of citizens away been done in Massachusetts Interstate 95 opened in Albury on Friday, October 16, 1964. But Mass DOT has yet to make formal announcement of the changes. The Southeast Regional Planning and Development District, which is a possible translation of infrastructure plan in the analyst and the Edinburgh and much of the South Coast has heard nothing about the plan. A hearty crowd of nearly 100 people gathered at the Newell Shelter Cape Park as the car began to land on Easter morning for an annual sunrise service sponsored by Edinburgh Area Council of Churches. North Edinburgh. At the North Edinburgh Animal Shelter Law Word Trespassers threatened woods can be more disruptive. Animal Control Officer Karen Fontenot said. Edinburgh Grand will try to become first to cross continental light aircraft using biofuel. King Philip Superintendent Elizabeth Lesky will apparently be on job for the foreseeable future. Ian Naughton, a former professor from Wheaton College in Illinois, who was stirred religious and political passion by a side of the Muslims that eventually sparked the case of mistaken identity involving the two colleges to visit Wheaton College and Norton next month to talk on what it means to support others. New found about when Select Chairman Paul Bell decided to department heads and they were happy with a proposal of corrupt budget Superintendent Sue Cullen were quick to respond. Boston, the man BJ's launched a new performance website this week, making it easier for writers to get agency performance while it's also able to improve service. The message made attempted to report these performance dashboard will show not only whoever trains buses that run out schedule, but on whoever agency has staying on budget, how many people writing and customer satisfaction. Springfield, Massachusetts police say man was killed in the weekend shooting in Springfield. Seeking Alpha's flagship daily business. Japan's NTT required Dell's IT service arm. Singapore, Tokyo did all from on Monday, and most Asian markets surrendered early gains as investors cautiously waited. U.S. economic data and speeches by the Federal Reserve officials this week that's going to signal more interest rates that decrease. U.S. stock futures were higher, headed into the first, 4 trading days of March in the first quarter after the long East weekend. Wall Street's up to 5-week winning streak with weekly losses. Thomasburg Investment Manager cut its position share fell and pharmaceutical international corporate by 33.2% during the fourth quarter, according to its most recent disclosure with the Securities Aid. Baghdad, faced with the threats of terrorism and low oil prices, the World Committee is ready to help, but Iraq has made that initiative, the UN Secretary General said. Moscow, Russian media reported that Monday that Gazprom will receive war from the government of Jordan was interested in liquefied natural gas. Washington, U.S. wind energy advocates scored a second victory after the federal government became its support to the transmission line to the service wind power sector. Bismarck, North Dakota, number of rigs engaged in the exploration and production activity in North Dakota held steady fire at 3rd consecutive week state data show. Now up 13.40 points at 17.5, 50.73, SP 500, 23.94, and NASDAQ 4,773.50. Bill and quantum computers and trick business when a range of obstacles still overcome, but scientists have a recent breakthrough in a new circuit that can speed up development. It's not unusual to see fish move out land by the sea one day, especially where cave angelfish move like a salamander is quite spectacular. Some of the Saturn's frosty moves have been framed after numerous dinosaurs meandered the earth. New PC displayed at the Saturn framework purpose the Wiggins and moons might be closer to 1 billion years of age. The tallest crest at Saturn's moon Titan has been spotted by researchers chipping away at NASA's Cassie mission. The crest is close to Titan's equator inside the tree of even edges called Mifrim Montes, about 10,948 feet high. Researchers determined the cities that self-reported the power shares of some Texas are more successful local outbreaks of Zika virus than anywhere else in the United States due to climate strong connection with travel-related virus. Seoul, South Korea have detected bird flu detected in poultry farm near Seoul and agriculture ministry to officials told Reuters. On Monday, the first examination 4 months and a month after the country regained its bird flu free status. Apple finally released its new feature in its iOS 9.3 users. The night chipset in the features does not help come back with light blue light exposure, which is found to disrupt sleep. Peter Childers is out 8:09. Time for Sports Report. Tonight, the Boston Celtics will be way out in Los Angeles, California for a date with Los Angeles Clippers game time 10:30 p.m., which is 7:30 p.m. their time, out in Southern California. Philadelphia, he called the Salvation Escape, but break the chaos in a place where you let this down got his level left practice as much as Ray Williams does this year. Ray Williams and his UFC titles move on in Final Four after defeated Notre Dame. The Los Angeles Lakers in the final stage of the March 20 season still locked in the last place in the Western Conference. Austin, Texas preliminaries leading into the first major championship 2016 have offered up some excellent golf with the big-time winners around the globe voicing trophies that have stayed in their cases. Peter Childers is out 8:09 on this Monday morning. Back to work, back to school, and it is time now for a travel report. Baby! Let's study off down in Rhode Island, where 95 is southbound side expected from Edinburgh all the way at the downtown Providence due to the exit at 95 on the northbound side just after the 610 connector. 95 on the northbound side it is so from Route 10 and Crescent all the way to downtown Providence. 195 on the westbound side so from Seacock way to downtown Providence. 610 connector it's so from Route 6 all the way to Route 95 downtown Providence. Route 6 to the eastbound side so from 128 Johnson all the way at the 610 connector. 146 on the southbound side it is so from Route 50 to north part all the way to downtown Providence. 146 on the northbound side so from Route 123 due to an accident at 146 northbound Route 123 in Lincoln, Vermont. 146 on the southbound side, also at Route 99 in Lincoln, Vermont, due to an accident on 146 southbound Route 99. 99 on the northbound side, so from 126 in Lincoln, all the way to Route 122 Woonsocket. 95 on the northbound side, so from Coventry all the way out to West Wark. Route 4 on the northbound side, so from Route 102 in North Kingstown all the way to Route 95 in East Greenwich. 138 in the eastbound side, a little slow around in Jamestown stretch. 1A on the 114 stop on the New Mono Bridge, it's a little slow. 95 on both ends of the slow from 295 in Edinburgh all the way at the Route 485 in Mansfield. 295 on the northbound side, it's a little slow before Route 95 in Edinburgh. 485 was an early accident around exit 11 in Mansfield on Route 140, but that's cleared up. But 485 on the northbound side, it is slow from Stop and Go from 1A in Westford all the way at the Route 9 in Westburn. 24 on the northbound side is slow from Route 139 and so all the way to Route 120 in Canton. Route 3 is northbound side and it's slow from Route 53 in Hanover all the way at the Derby Street Higgins Hit Bridge and from Route 18 in Weymouth all the way at the Union Street in Braintree. Out of the Cape, Route 6 is a little from Sunward on all lanes. 20 is a little from Border Falmouth and Border Sunward bridges are looking good. In Boston vicinity, Mass Park in the eastbound side, a little slow from Natick all the way at before Route 120 Newton and Hit again on Mass Park in the eastbound side from 128 all the way at to the Poo Tunnel. And Mass Park on the westbound side is still from Logan Airport all the way at the Austin Toll. Southeast Expressway at southbound side is still from Quincy all the way at the Braintree Split. Southeast Expressway at the northbound side is still from the Braintree Split all the way out past the JFK exit. 120 on the northbound side is still from Route 1 in Norwood all the way out to Route 20 in Waltham. 120 southbound side is still from Reddit all the way out to Route 20 in Waltham. 93 on the northbound side is from Pike all the way at the South Station. 93 on the southbound side is still from Reddit all the way at the Zankin Bridge. Route 1 on the southbound side is still from Route 16 in Via all the way at the Route 93 in Boston. Route 1 on the northbound side connected after the Torbay Bridge, so expect delays. 1A on the southbound side of the Callan Tunnel, it's slow. Route 2 on the westbound side is still from 4225 Lexington to Route 128 in Lexington. Route 2 on the eastbound side is still from Route 60 Belmont all the way at the Fresh Park Parkway in Cambridge. 93 on the northbound side is still from Woburn all the way at the Route 120 to Reddit. Route 3 on the southbound side is still from 495 and all the way at the Billwick and the Nipper again before 62 in Burlington. 495 on the southbound side is still from 117 and still all the way at the 290 in Marlborough. 495 on the northbound side is still from Route 3 in Lowell all the way at the Tewksbury. Route 495 on the southbound side is still after Route 3 in Charleston and the Nipper again from 28 in Lowell all the way at Route 2 in the eastbound side. Lowell's at Route 111 in Acton. Route 485 on the northbound side, a little slower at Route 95 Newburyport. And then 485 on the southbound side, a little slower at 213 in Lawrence. Atten, Worcester vicinity, 290 in the eastbound side, it did so from Owen all the way at Route 9 in Worcester. 146 on the northbound side, a little slow before 290 in Worcester. Atten, Springfield, 91 on the northbound side, so from Route 57 in Agawam, now you get to downtown Springfield. Mass Park on the westbound side, a little slower at 291 in Springfield. Down in Hartford, Connecticut. I-91 on the southbound side, so from Route 75, Woods all the way at the downtown Hartford. I-91 on the northbound side, so from Vernon all the way at the downtown Hartford. I-840 on the westbound side, so from Vernon all the way at the downtown Hartford. And then I-840 eastbound side, so from Farmington on the downtown Hartford. Route 2 to the west northbound side, so from Glassbury to East Hartford. 291 in westbound side, so from Route 5 and South Windsor all the way at to I-91 in downtown Hartford. I-691 on the eastbound side, it is so from 17 all the way at to Route 91 in Hartford. In Meriden, I-8 for the westbound side, so from Summerton all the way to Waterbury, and then it breaks again from Summerton, Sudbury all the way out to Denbury, Connecticut. Down to 95 on the southbound side, so from Guilford to Brentford, and then it breaks again from Brentford all the way at the downtown New Haven around I-91, 95 on the southbound side, so from New Haven all the way at to Stratford, and then it's slow all the way down to Stamford, Connecticut, 95 on the northbound side, and then so from 287 to Portchester, New York, all the way to Greenwich, Connecticut. 95 on the northbound side, so from Stratford all the way to downtown New Haven. 91 on the southbound side, so from Route 5 all the way to Route 95 in New Haven. Highways and byways, New York City, slow go, but New York State throughways living good from New York all the way out to the Pennsylvania border, except on the freeway on the northbound side, a little slower on Route 190 in Buffalo, New York. Pennsylvania traffic on the westbound side, it is from King Prussia to 476 north of Philadelphia. And I-78 on the westbound side, a little slower on 476 around the Allentown, Bethlehem area. Otherwise, Pennsylvania traffic is moving from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. Up in Vermont, it's linking good, but in New Hampshire, every traffic on the southbound side a little slow after the Manchester Airport, Vermont, New Hampshire main highways are looking good on this Monday morning, except I-80 on the southbound side a little slow after Canadian border up in Vermont. Rail line space minus southbound delays. The disabled train at Kendall MIT station. Commuter rail looking good on the ferries. They are looking good. Peter Chaldusab is now 8:16 in the morning time on this Monday morning, and it is time to have a weather report. And yesterday we had a decent Easter Sunday. Now Monday and pouring rain on this Monday morning to start the work week and school week. And checking out radar, and it shows a line of rain showers from Chatham's curvative down, taking the buffer, spinning and stretching all the way from eastern Massachusetts, stretching to southern New Hampshire, and coming to much of Rhode Island, from Connecticut, from Putnam, stretching it down for Stamford, Connecticut, and stretching all the way close to around New York City and then it's slipping up in northern New Jersey, and coming to much of eastern New York State, west of Albany, and coming to much of Pennsylvania, and stretching it down for Maryland and D.C., around Baltimore, Annapolis, and around the Washington, D.C. area. Yeah, we're seeing a few isolated sleet pelts from Ashby, Massachusetts, stretching New Hampshire, stretching and down Stoddard, New Hampshire, stretching up to Newbury, and up to New London, New Hampshire. Raining down in Stafford, Burlington, Vermont. And turn on Futurecast, and expecting the rain to continue to pour, but we have some light to moderate bands of rain, but then another round of moderate to heavy bands of rain will move throughout the region before the rain stops in southern New England, while the rain most have been in Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, but while the rain stops, and we're seeing a few rounds of sleet around western Massachusetts and southern Vermont, and up to eastern New York from Utica, Syracuse, the winds are going to kick up. As we are under a wind advisory effect from 10 p.m. this evening to 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Tuesday, as National Weather Service international wind advisory winds in effect from 10 p.m. this evening to 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Tuesday at location all southern New England. West winds by 15-25 miles, gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Tabby strong winds believe after midnight on Tuesday. Impacts will stream limbs of rain, which is maybe down, possibly causing isolated power outages. And wind advisory this year wind sustained winds are forecast to be 39 miles an hour, with gusts will range between 46 and 57 miles an hour. With this drive, kibble down some small tree limbs and branches, possibly causing isolated power outages. Driving can be difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. Okay, 7-day forecast goes like this. For today, showers likely between. Showers before 10 a.m. Then rain between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Punchmark average 47 degrees. East to about 5 down miles and becoming light in the afternoon. Chance of 1% new. Precipitation amounts up 3.5 to 3/4 inch possible. For tonight, chance of showers maybe before 7 p.m. Punchmark forward 7 p.m. Otherwise, mostly clouds about 39 degrees. What about 9 to 18 miles gust side 40 miles an hour. Chance of 30% new. Precipitation less than 7 inch possible. Tuesday, Punchmark sky about 52 degrees. Precipitation window northwest about 18 to 21 miles gust side 43 miles an hour. Tuesday, Podcast goes about 30 degrees and northwest about 7 to 14 miles an hour. Wind gust high 34 miles an hour. Wednesday, south guys about 55 degrees and northwest about 5 to 8 miles coming southwest in the afternoon. With that, podcast goes about 40 degrees. Thursday, chance of showers after 4 p.m. Podcast got about 63 degrees and Brisbane chance precipitation 30%. There's that showers likely after 8 p.m. Patch about after 4 a.m. Whereas most of the clouds skies will about 55 degrees and breezy skies with a chance precipitation 6%. Friday, showers likely before 3 p.m. Punch back between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Otherwise, clouds skies about 64 degrees and chance precipitation 6%. Friday night, chance of showers before 8 p.m. Most clouds goes about 43 degrees, chance precipitation 30%. Sunday, most of the podcasts go out 55 about 33 degrees. And for Sunday, most clouds skies before 6 degrees. Currently here, not near it is rainy and 86% humidity and 41 degrees, 5 Celsius. And that's me for the Peter Channel. Morning news on this Monday morning, March 20th, 2016. I appreciate you have a good day with a good day to all. We'll see you for a noon time report. Have a good day.